All right, everyone, welcome back for the episode of Carnivore Trades. Today is Friday, June 28th, 2024. If you're not done so already, please give the video a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com for swing trading alerts, analysis, and live day trading. Anyways, let's get into it today. So markets here, closing out the quarter and the month here today. So a lot to discuss. Let's go back to let's go to the futures here. So let's look at, you're going to see here kind of a tight falling wedge. We can get rid of that right now. But overnight we had the debates, and market kind of just pumped through that. There was talk about like, oh, it was just, like Trump election certainty essentially, but we were kind of bidding up before that. So I don't know. I think just hedges coming off and whatnot. I'm surprised the market was as hedged as it was for that debate. Then we had PCE this morning came in essentially in line. Then we had a little dip by the open, dip by new highs, not on the futures, but on the S&P. So we missed new highs in ES by 3 points. And this level it called out in the trading room here at 55.25. We had some people take this short. I did not, but it worked out pretty well. I'm not surprised we pulled back here. I'm surprised it took 40 minutes to start selling, but I'm not surprised. I've been mentioning here the last couple of days, I'm not sure we have enough consolidation to go higher here. And a pretty good rejection here. Now, a lot of the stuff here, especially towards the end of the day, I'm already getting questions about it. It's like Microsoft, this is end of quarter stuff. It's like rebalancing. So Microsoft's going to zero. This is just rebalancing here. It did wipe out a lot here, but it's end of quarter stuff. NVIDIA, last second there, you can see it on Apple, Google, right? So these high flyers that have done really well, even like an SMCI, you see it in the SMH there dipping down. We see ARM wasn't too bad, but what's interesting to me though is you can see in the corner of your screen here the IWM. So everything that dumped out in the last couple of minutes, the opposite of that happened in sectors that everyone hates. Russell 2000, this is a perfect falling wedge. I've been following this all day long. Nice spike down at the end and then a really good bid outside of that into the end of the day. And what if I told you that the Russell 2000 was the only index that was green today? We've been talking about this, our small caps getting ready here. We're inside of this tight wedge. If they can break that, I think that's what's going to lead the next leg of this rally here for the market. But before I get sidetracked, look at all the other sectors here. VNQ, I cover this every day. That was up big in the last 10 minutes. XHB got a bid in the last 10-15 minutes. KRE, we'll talk about that one later. That got a bid in the last 15 minutes. Broker dealers, Dow Transports, all the sectors that everyone hates. Well, not so much broker dealers, but all the sectors everyone hates here. Healthcare, all got a bid. Small caps for sure. Regional banks for sure. So we've been beating that rotation drum here. Is this finally happening? It is end of quarter now, so we'll see if that stuff starts to roll off. SMH here managed to crack out a small gain at the end of the day. SOX there up 1%. Holding pattern here. It got a little bit of a pop off the lows into the end of the day, but it looks like that's what's going on here. So I'm keeping an eye on that, obviously watching very closely, and I think that is a likely thing that can happen here. We also had some yield stuff going on too. So yields actually got a pretty good, I'm just going to use ZB here. So this is the bond, the inverse. Yields definitely made a move though. So we popped up on PCE and then a really good drop. And I've been telling you guys, I don't really think that, even though I'm kind of bullish, I don't really think that yields are going to go much lower. Let me just get rid of these bands here. And you can see the 2-year here holding up. Again, we spiked down, rallied back up here. 5s outside of that little bear wedge, 10s outside of the falling wedge, and then 30s, good failed bear pattern there. So 30-year getting a good pop too. Again, so even with Goldilocks data, yields continuing to inch higher. Is that because the market realizes that no matter who wins the election, they're just going to spend trillions and trillions and trillions? Maybe they're finally figuring that out. I don't know. But yields inching up here. Did that have an effect on the market? Likely, but I think a lot of this was First of all, there was a massive pin at 5,500, so we were going to come back down into that likely anyway. And then we just kind of kept inching down throughout the day. So I think some of it is end of quarter. It's a mix of that. And you can see here, with the exception of the last 5 seconds, volatility not really getting a bid. So VIX up 1.4, not really a huge move. So I think a lot of it is to be blamed on end of quarter stuff, more so than yields or anything else. But again, I'm going to stick with my thesis here. I think we need a few more days of basing out. And then I think the market is ready for another leg up, which I think will be led by other sectors, small caps, maybe even real estate, and regional banks. We'll see. We'll cover that in a second. But yeah, a few more days of basing out. Fund managers will be in the Hamptons by Tuesday afternoon, most likely, unless a major macro event happens to unpin us. So expect light volume, and as we get closer to the holiday, expect even lighter volume, which bodes well for bulls. So keep that in mind. Also, first of the month, first of the quarter, a lot of money coming into the market that has to be recollateralized too. We didn't quite see that today. We saw some of the selling today, but I'm watching that beginning of month flow on Monday. So anyway, spiders or SPX here. Again, look at where we went down to. Can anybody have guessed this? Oh, low of the day, right at 54.50 again. If we do break that, I think 25 is a likely target, and then 5,400 in the short term. I'm not really bearish past those levels right now, though, unless something big changes. QQQ, I will say here, you do have the chance for a lower high. So actually, I take that back. We made new all-time highs. So let me do. I mean, on the NQ, I guess you do, but you could also say same thing for the ES. But this is still a really tight pattern. By the way, taking a look at this trend line here also on ES, coinciding with that 20 moving average. So keep an eye on that too. If that gets spiked and pushed back above, could be a liquidity grab to keep an eye out for. But the Qs, we'll say, to be fair, we'll just say for the NQ, you could have a lower high here. And I do think tech is not going to lead throughout the summer. The rest of the summer anyway. So that is consistent. Diamond here down 43 cents, got hit really hard and then came back off the lows. Right now, just kind of like an inside, let me get rid of the lines. Just kind of like an inside bar here. I don't really see any problems with the Dow. I think this can move higher Monday or Tuesday. But resistance still up here around 393, then a little bit at 395. And then the IWM we talked about, you guys know this is in a range. I like the pattern. Told you guys 2 days ago we had a buy signal, and it's continued up. And this has outperformed the whole market the last couple of days. So good move there for the Russell. Semis, down move here. You could make a case you have a little bit of bear consolidation, but you're above all the moving averages. So I wouldn't be shocked, and I told members this too, I wouldn't be shocked to see some type of a retrace, maybe a 618. There's 270 up there, right? For NVIDIA, I think it's 132. But I do think that these tech bull flows roll off, at least in the chip sector for the most part. Doesn't mean all chips will sell, but I think just the big high flyers. You already saw Broadcom come in. We saw NVIDIA come in and a few others. But the sectors that could run, like I said, are IGV, up 44 cents again today. Very nice breakout. There's really nothing. I mean, this is one of the best patterns you're going to see. Big base here, right? It's just repeating this same setup, honestly, right? What do assets do? They like to repeat. What do humans do? They like to repeat up, sideways up, sideways up. Perfect. I mean, picture perfect pattern. So I love cloud here, and it held up all day. Even when the market was selling, yeah, it backed off a little bit, but still green. Dow transports, everybody tells me about the economy. Oh, Nike means the economy's crashing. Well, XLY was down a little bit today, but if the economy is crashing, where's the transports? So, they're up 1% today, making another higher high here. So again, just follow the charts. Forget the narratives. All it does is lose you money. Just follow the charts. Big ascending triangle here on the transports. It's going to piss a lot of people off if that goes higher. I'm not saying it does, but that's the setup right now. Short term, yeah, Probably a little resistance there with that 100 MA. We did tag it and pierce it a little bit. Just take a short-term fib there. Yeah, he had a 786. And then to the bigger pivot into a 50% fib. So we got a little bit of work to do on the transports, but again, they're leading. So again, we're still seeing that pinning effect, that dispersion in the market. One thing is down, other things are up. And that's good behavior. We talked about rates already. XHB. The XHB is soft. So XHB was up 9 cents today, but not great, right? I don't even like this attempted really wedge. I'm just going to get rid of it for now. I'm just going to say you've got equal lows here right now. So that you could make a case is weaker with the lower highs. You have daily. I'd be on watch for an inside bar. Possible bear flag set up on XHB. So this is a sector I would avoid right now. If you could close above 103.73 on a daily, then you can, go back up to this trend line here. But right now, I would just avoid XHB. So I don't like home builders here. Doesn't mean they can't firm up, but it's definitely on the weaker side here. Now, is it drop to 97, 95? Are these mega bounce levels? Yeah, for sure. But right now in the near term, not. VNQ, it's going to look like it's down, but they paid a dividend. So look at XLRE, up 31 cents. And again, basically got to that trend line. It bounced up higher lows. So no problems here. IYR, it's the same thing. Again, up move, tight pattern. And this can, push higher. I think it's getting ready. So VNQ is kind of in that same boat. I've been talking about this. I just follow this one because it has more market cap. But the other two are fine. And yeah, if this breaks out, that's another rotation sector. XLF here, I managed to carve out a gain. I know JPM had a big day today. Goldman held up okay inside of that flag. Morgan Stanley, daily inside bar, nothing wrong with that. BAC still holding up. So XLF hanging in there, and everybody, I don't know what to tell you. So KRE up 3%. Again, this is why you just take the macro stuff, and if it's lining up with the charts, then you use it. But if not, it's worthless. All it's going to do is cost you money. And ask me how I know that. Trust me, I'm telling you guys from experience, trying to get you guys to not make mistakes that I've made. Regional banks are failing. Well, then why are they going up? Heavily shorted sectors can rally. Doesn't matter what the fundamentals are in the near term. And I think the Fed already knows about these banks that are going to fail, and they're probably ahead of that, just like they're ahead of the yen with doing currency swaps. That's a whole nother can of worms. KBE, I've been telling you guys about this for 6 months now, 7 months. Weekly inside bar is still intact. Daily chart, head and shoulders failed. Let's get rid of that. Monthly, I have a buy signal on this on the monthly. So this is very strong. I think this breaks out next month. Broker dealers here breaking out here as well. Nothing wrong. Up, pull back, up, pull back, up, pull back. The only problem I have with it is the monthly, which is just still a little extended. But we'll just say next target for that is 650. Oil here, kind of a quiet day, although it was all over. It wasn't quiet, I guess. It was all over the map. But at the end of the day, only down 21 cents, so nothing crazy. But it pumped up overnight and then came back in pretty good, closing flat to lower. It's still resistance here at 82. I think this has one more push, and then I think that's it. I don't think that they're going to let this thing pump into the election. I'll put it that way. I don't think it's necessarily going to crash, but I don't think it's going to pump. UGA also backing off here. I still think there's still a lot of shorts in this. We'll have to double check. There was last week, though. XLE, again, up 35 cents. Again, green in a down tape. Rotation. XOP, daily inside bar starting to form. Needs a little more time. And OIH, actually an outside move today. So it still needs a lot of work to get back through these levels here. But again, we're seeing these things put in higher lows now. CCJ, big gap and crap here. Could be end of quarter stuff. I'm going to get rid of this because that falling wedge breakout failed for now. Pretty good sell on the weekly, but no volume behind it. A lot of selling throughout the day, though. But not a lot of volume, right? It's not like we're seeing funds bail on this. And the weekly chart has 0 damage. And the same thing goes for URNM. So weekly chart is still fine as long as we're above this. Now, the NJ, still no damage until we're below that. On a closing basis, too. So, again, don't get too excited. Oh, Microsoft's going to crash. It's just end of quarter stuff. Like, don't look at that stuff too crazy. All right. Nat gas here down into basically my level. I did not pull the trigger on this, but it sold off all day long, didn't it? Yeah, really good sell there. Did not pull the trigger on this. Maybe Monday, if it pierces that level, I'd get interested. And that's on the Q contract. So nat gas pulling back, dollar index pulling back as well, but no problems here, just kind of grinding higher. A lot of resistance up here. I mean a wall on the daily. So that's going to need to do some backing and filling to get through that, but dollar index has come back nicely. Gold here with a flat day, nothing terrible. Weekly pattern is still strong. No follow through on the daily bear flag though. So I wouldn't be short here. Not looking to go long yet though. Silver here holding up just fine. I still think that has backing and filling to do as well though. Just look at the miners for fun. Yeah, just backed off a little bit today, nothing terrible. Platinum here kind of got rejected again at 10.25, 10.30. I don't know, we'll see what that does here. It's been very choppy. So we can extend that out, I suppose. And then palladium up 5%, so that's trying to curl back up. And it's still like this long term here. And you do have a W pattern, I suppose, on the weekly, and you could make a case on the monthly too. So I think it's getting close to a bottom. Copper here up 63 cents. 63 basis points. I did not do anything with that. So my level's still the same. Then lastly, Bitcoin here. That backed off a little bit. So a little dynamic here. This could be bear flags starting to form here on the daily. I'm also watching though on the smaller time frames. By the way, I don't have my runner anymore. I did cut that today. So just a runner was cut. That's not what I wanted. I'm watching this because it's basically into a 618 now, and I'm watching to see if that gets defended here. Because you could have, I mean, now it's like everybody's looking at this like, oh, it's daily bear flag. It has to be. But if this holds up, we could squeeze those people. I also think the weekly is going to put in if we try to dip down, I don't think that we have much lower to go in this, at least for now. But right now, we'll see. Watch that 618. I'm completely out of it right now. But yeah, I mean, if we do bear flag enough, it can go lower. However, Bitcoin, just to throw this out there lastly, Bitcoin has a history of like these bear patterns failing. This one right here at the lows, this one right here, and then even kind of like these shorter term ones like down here, it bear flagged for 3 days, then it broke out. So just take that with a grain of salt. But I'm out of it right now, but we'll watch that 618 if you want to trade it over the weekend. I don't. That's why I got rid of it into the weekend. I do not want to babysit that. So anyway, markets here holding up okay. We did come back off the lows by the end of the day, and then we got that little dump in there. Microsoft, Google got slammed into the close, NVIDIA, in Apple, so the market's going to be down there. But again, as long as we see, and by the way, I didn't even talk about Tesla. I almost forgot you, Elon. Up 46 cents in a down tape, and again, what got a bid while things were rotating. So I think it's these stocks that everybody hates and everybody's forgotten about. Maybe even a little dash for trash type action. Going into June, going into July, could be on the docket here. If anything really changes, I'll let you guys know. But I think we're getting close here for another push towards that 5,600 handle, like I talked about by the end of summer. So, anyways, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up here. You guys take care. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com. Subscribe to the channel. You guys take care.